You know, if you're building or using AI right now, we've got to talk about what is arguably the most urgent security threat facing enterprise AI today. We're pulling data straight from the 2026 Vectra AI report. And I'll tell you right now, this vulnerability isn't just theoretical research anymore. It's an active, widespread crisis, and you absolutely cannot afford to ignore it.
Take a look at this staggering number, 84%. That is how often prompt injection attacks actually succeed against agentic AI systems that are equipped with auto-execution capabilities. I mean, an 84% success rate? That right there proves exactly why prompt injection is ranked as the absolute #1 OWASP AI risk for 2025.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to hit the #1 AI risk, how it actually works, look at the taxonomy, dig into some real-world exploits, break down a 6-layer defense strategy, and finally wrap up with future trends and compliance. All right, Section 1, the #1 AI risk. We are officially moving from theory to an active crisis. At its absolute core, prompt injection exploits a really fundamental architectural flaw. It is basically a complete failure of the trust boundary. Think about it. The model simply cannot tell the difference between your trusted, hard-coded system instructions and an attacker's totally untrusted input data. They look the same to the AI. And we really need to clear something up here, because there's a massive amount of industry confusion between jailbreaking and prompt injection. Jailbreaking, that's about bypassing safety rules, trying to make the model swear or give you a dangerous recipe. But prompt injection targets the application layer. It manipulates what the AI actually does on your system, like executing unauthorized tool calls or secretly exfiltrating your private data. It's a completely different ballgame. Moving on to Section 2, how prompt injection works and where exactly that trust boundary completely fails. The flaw here is a lot like an old-school SQL injection, and it happens right here at Step 4 in the pipeline. See, all these inputs, whether they're your highly privileged system instructions, direct input from a user, or just external data pulled from an email, they all get dumped into one single context window bucket. Because transformer models use attention mechanisms that weigh all those tokens together, an attacker's injected prompt can literally just overwrite your carefully crafted guardrails. And because of that one architectural flaw, attackers have weaponized this into a full 7-stage malware execution mechanism. We are way past just tricking a chatbot into saying something silly. Security researchers are actually calling this the promptware kill chain. Attackers are establishing persistence in your AI's memory. They're setting up command and control. In fact, recent data shows that lateral movement in these attacks grew from literally 0 incidents in 2023 to being present in 8 out of 21 multi-stage attacks tracked recently. Let's dive into Section 3, taxonomy of prompt injection, because this goes way beyond a simple text box. Now, direct injection is pretty obvious, right? The user is the attacker, typing in malicious commands. But indirect injection? Man, that is uniquely insidious. With this, malicious commands are hidden silently inside normal-looking documents or emails or websites. You ask your AI assistant to summarize a benign-looking web page, it reads the hidden payload, and boom, it triggers and executes the attack without you ever even knowing it's happening. The attack surface today is just wild. We're seeing multimodal attacks where instructions are hidden in image pixels using steganography, stuff only the AI can see. Then there's RAG poisoning. Get this. Injecting just 5 corrupt documents into a massive retrieval database yields a 90% attack success rate. And we are even seeing agentic bot-to-bot exploitation, where one compromised AI agent silently passes malicious payloads directly to a peer. All right, Section 4, real-world attack exploits. Let's ground this theory in actual 2025 and 2026 data. Please don't think you can just rely on the newest frontier models to perfectly protect themselves. Anthropic's own data on Claude Opus proves it. Give an attacker one shot, and yeah, the AI defends itself pretty well, failing only 4.7% of the time. But give them 100 attempts? That success rate skyrockets to 63%. If an attacker persists, they are going to find a way in. And just look at this timeline of critical CBSS 9.0 plus vulnerabilities that have hit recently. It's a devastating escalation. We had Echo Leak allowing zero-click remote data exfiltration right through an email. Then late 2025 brought GitHub Copilot remote code execution. Then the Cursor IDE triple CVE chain and the Klein and OpenSlaw supply chain attack in February 2026. AI coding assistants are heavily targeted right now, and they're completely bypassing traditional software guardrails.
The proof that there's no silver bullet software patch for this became glaringly obvious in early 2026. OpenAI literally launched lockdown mode. That was a massive public acknowledgement. They essentially said, look, to defend against prompt injection in AI browsers, we actually have to make architectural trade-offs that reduce the AI's functionality. It's an architectural reality we just have to live with.
Which brings us to Section 5, the 6-layer defense strategy. How do we move to an assume compromise stance? Like the report bluntly states, no complete fix exists. The required mindset shift for IT and security leaders is huge here. You have to adopt a classic assume breach mentality, because the AI model will eventually be tricked. Your only viable strategy is defense in depth, building robust defenses around the AI to stop the downstream bleeding. To actually break that kill chain, we highly recommend this 6-layer approach. Sure, you start by validating inputs and enforcing system instructions, that's layers 1 and 2, but knowing those will occasionally fail, you must apply strict least privilege to your tools at layer 3. If the AI doesn't need to delete files, don't give it that tool. But honestly, layers 4 and 5 are absolutely critical. By strictly validating outputs and continuously monitoring for anomalies, you can catch an AI right as it tries to exfiltrate data, even if the initial injection completely slipped through. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, future trends and compliance, because regulatory pressure is seriously mounting. Mapping your defenses against these frameworks isn't just a best practice anymore, it's practically the law. With the EU AI Act deadline hitting in August 2026, enterprise compliance is mandatory. If you operate high-risk AI systems in Europe, you have to prove you've done robustness testing against adversarial attacks. And that explicitly includes prompt injection, mapped to OWASP and MITRE Atlas. Looking ahead, the data clearly indicates that agentic systems and hybrid attacks are going to massively amplify the blast radius of these vulnerabilities over the next 12 to 24 months. Attackers are actually combining prompt injection with traditional exploits to weaponize your own AI-powered security scanners against you. And keep a close eye on supply chain poisoning. Third-party agent skills and plugins from AI marketplaces are fast becoming the new digital backdoors.
So I want to leave you with this provocative question. With 83% of organizations actively planning to deploy agentic AI systems, knowing that a perfect patch is literally impossible, is your security team actually prepared to detect the downstream anomalous behaviors of an inevitable prompt injection attack? It is time to implement those defense-in-depth strategies, assume compromise, and stay secure. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.